Good afternoon, and welcome to the Foreign Correspondents Club of Thailand. We're going to get started now. My name is Phil Robertson. I'm the Deputy Asia Director of Human Rights Watch, and I've been asked by the Sombat Initiative to serve as the moderator today for this Sombat Initiative event to discuss the situation not only of Sombat Somphon, who on December 15th this year marked the 4th anniversary of his disappearance in Vientiane, but also to talk about the tragedy of enforced disappearance, which is one of the most horrific human rights crimes and is an ongoing issue in the daily lives of the women who are sitting on the panel before you. So we're going to have an interactive dialogue. We're going to try something a little bit different where the panelists want to talk a little bit more about themselves and interact based on questions that we prepared. So we're going to have that interactive dialogue, which I think you'll find to be quite interesting and helpful. And then at the end, we will open this up for questions, and you can, of course, direct the questions you have to any one of the panelists. We have here today Shui Meng Ng, who lives in Vientiane and is the wife of Sombat Somphon. We have Kun Angkana Nilapajit, who is currently a Human Rights Commissioner of the National Human Rights Commission of Thailand, but is also the wife of famous lawyer Somchai Nilapajit, who is still missing after more than a decade. And then we have Kun Pinapa Priksapan, who is ethnic Karen. She is the wife of the Karen leader Billy, as he's commonly known, and he's been now missing for over 2 years. So I'm going to ask each of the panelists to say a few words, and then we're going to go into our interactive dialogue. We'll also have Kun Pinapa doesn't speak English, so she's being helped by a translator. So her questions and answers will be translated by a volunteer who we thank very much for joining us today. So I'd like to start with Kun Pinapa, and then we'll ask Kun Angkana to speak, and then Shui Meng, and then we'll move into the interactive dialogue.
สวัสดีค่ะทุกคนหนูชื่อพิณภาพฤกษาพานค่ะเป็นภรรยาบิลลี่ค่ะอยู่จังหวัดเพชรบุรีค่ะ
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Pinnapa. I am wife of Mr. Billy. I live in Phetchaburi province.
คือผ้าที่เห็นนี่ก็เป็นผ้าสุดท้ายที่หนูไปกับพี่บิลลี่ที่บางกลอยอะค่ะไปหาปู่ขออี้แล้วก็ไปถ่ายที่หัวนาข้ามบันไดเป็นผ้าสุดท้ายค้าสุดท้ายที่หนูไปกับพี่บิลลี่ที่บางกลอยค่ะ
The picture in front of you guys is the last picture that I took with my husband at Bangkok community in the National Park, Kangkrajan National Park, when we met with his grandfather, Khoi Mimi, who is a prominent villager there. And we took this picture in front of rice plantation made by the Karen ethnic community.
Good afternoon, everybody. I am Angkana Nilapajit. I'm very happy to be here again. Since last 12 years and 9 months, I'm here on this stage many times, speak repeatedly the same issues of enforced disappearance. Firstly, I speaking on behalf of my husband and then for the disappeared people in Thailand and also in ASEAN. It's really traumatized memories to speaking again and again on the issues that make us feel very upset. Anyway, I'm happy to talk, to remind myself, my family, and Thai society that the victims of enforced disappearance in Thailand still cannot access to truth and justice. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everybody. Once more, I'd like to thank the Sombat Initiative to organize this event. And as Ankana has said, I've spoken here many times. And we have spoken here to appeal, to try and find our loved ones. For Ankana, it's 12 years and 9 months. For me, it's 4 years. We are the face of the kind of suffering that each of us bear. It's a kind of suffering and pain that unless you have someone close to you experiences, you will probably never know. Today I see on the panel, I've been with Ankana many times on the panel, but this is the first time I'm on the panel with Billy's wife. Look at her. She is very, very young. And she now has to bear the enormous burden of not knowing where her husband is. And worse still now, have to bear the burden of being the father, the mother, the breadwinner, and everything. I don't want to speak a lot. I've spoken many times. I want her to have the opportunity to speak more. Thank you.
Good. Thank you very much. So we're going to go into our interactive dialogue, and these are questions that were shared with the panelists so that they could think about how they wanted to respond. And we're going to proceed with Kun Pinapa speaking first, and then Kun Ankana, and then Shui Meng. And we've got several different questions. And the first question, which is a very direct and relevant one for each of the panelists, is please tell us a little bit more about your husband, about his work, his life, what motivated him, and what was special about him.
ค่ะก็บิลลี่ก็เป็นชาวไทยเชื้อสายกะเหรี่ยงมีบัตรประชาชนมีสิทธิ์มีเสียงเหมือนคนอื่นหรือชาวบ้านทั่วไปอะค่ะแล้วก็อยู่บ้านเลขที่37หมู่1ตำบลห้วยแม่เพียนอำเภอแก่งกระจานจังหวัดเพชรบุรีค่ะ
Billy is a Thai with a Korean ethnic. He lives in house number 37, หมู่ 1, sub-district, Hoi Mae Priang sub-district, Kaeng Krachan district at Phetchaburi province. He is just an ordinary person, but he has a identification card, and also he have rights and liberty as some others people.
งานหลักของบิลลี่ก็คือทำการเกษตรหรือทำไร่ปลูกข้าวอะค่ะ รอนก็คือในวันในปีที่เขาหายตัวไปเขาก็กำลังเป็นสมาชิกอบต.อยู่ค่ะแล้วถ้าเขาจะอยู่ปีนี้ก็เป็นโคกวาระสุดท้ายที่เขาต้องออกจากสมาชิกอบต.แล้วค่ะ
He is a farmer. He is just a farmer. He do a rice plantation, and he also being a member of the sub-district administration organization in our hometown. This is the if he is still alive and live here. This is the last year of being a member of the sub-district administration organization.
แล้วก็วิถีชีวิตของเขาก็ชอบอยู่แบบพอเพียงรักษาวัฒนธรรมด้านเดินไว้เพื่อให้คนรุ่นหลานได้เห็นและได้เรียนรู้เช่นพิธีการกินไก่การไหว้พระจันทร์การทำไร่หมุนเวียนค่ะ
And for his lifestyle, he loved living with the sustainable, and he always try to promote and protect the culture of the ethnic people for the young generation to learn more. He always do the traditional ceremony and also keep the way of doing farmer of the ethnic.
แล้วก็แรงบันดาลใจของบิลลี่เขาเป็นคนที่ชอบช่วยเหลือผู้อื่นโดยที่ไม่หวังผลประโยชน์ตอบแทนใดๆทั้งสิ้นค่ะ
For his motivation, he is a kind of person that he love helping other people a lot without asking for interest as a without he have never asking for other interest.
แล้วความพิเศษของบิลลี่ก็คือเป็นคนที่รักครอบครัวมากไปไหนๆติดต่อกับครอบครัวมาตลอดไม่เคยขาดหายไปเหมือนตอนนี้เลยค่ะ
What the thing that makes Billy is special is that he loves our family a lot, and he always told us, he always tell us if he wants to go somewhere else. So he have never been, missing us today.
For Somchai Nirapaichit, Somchai was born in families of farmers. His generation moved from Pattani to stay in Nong Chok district. It's quite far from the center of Bangkok. Since he's very young, he helped his parents to work in the farm rice, and he earned himself for studying because his family is have no enough money for 5 children to go to school. So when he was born in the family of farmers, he know very well about the injustice that the poor people, especially the farmer, received. He have very strong wishes that he want to be the good lawyer to help all the people, especially the poor people. When he became a lawyer, he helped a lot of people, not only the Muslim people in the south, but also all over the country. He worked with the Law Council Society in Bangkok, and for the people in the south, sometimes maybe for the people in the south, there's a lot of cases that is not handled by the Law Council Society. So when Somchai helped people in the south, he used his own money for everything, for the traveling cost, for all the accommodation because he have to travel to the south maybe twice a month or maybe more than that. Somchai, when he want to protect his client, he have a lot of problem with the police and the soldiers in the south. And for the police, Somchai is a major obstacle because the police think that because of Somchai, so that most of the people who were arrested will not found guilty in the court. So Somchai was called by the police that he's the bandit lawyer. Before he disappeared, he sent the complaint letter to all the state agencies to complain about his 5 clients that were tortured in police custody. The letter is very strong because after he visited the detainees in Bangkok prison, he found the scars still remain in the body of 5 people. And only one day after he sent the letter of complaint, he was abducted by the police and he disappeared until now. Since 12 March 2004 until today is 12 years and 9 months. Thank you.
Okay, when I listen to Pinapa and listen to Ankana, there is a common thread among the people who have suffered this fate. They're just ordinary people. And come from very poor backgrounds, just like Sombat. Farming people. People who work hard. But anyway, okay, and study hard. In this picture, it's the first time Sombat left for the United States. You see him, he looks so uncomfortable. All the others are city kids. He's the only one who's really from the village. But he studied hard. And like all his friends, they never come back to Laos. He's the only one who came back after the war. And he wants just to help other people, like what Pinapa says. He just wants to help other people who are farmers like his parents, and who he worked hard in agriculture, but he doesn't teach people like the city. City people normally go and say, I teach you how to do things. But because Sombat is from the community, his approach is always to listen to the people, to see what they need, and how he, having studied agriculture and had the experience and the benefit of an education, can support them. So, sorry. And he is also a very spiritual person. He's a very spiritual person, thinking that the teaching of Buddhism really teach people to pay attention to things like kindness, compassion, and use this as a way to help other people. He is very gentle. He is very, very humble. He's a loving son. He's a loving brother. He's a loving husband. and is a loving uncle to all his nieces and nephews. We don't have children, but we have raised many, many children. Children from the village, from his brothers and sisters, and also children that we sometimes find who have no opportunities. So he is, and this is why, up to today, Sombat has always been referred to as Uncle Sombat by many, many young people, thousands of young people who remember him and still respect him.
Okay. Thank you for that. Let me ask a second question here to the panel, which is, to try to help us understand a little bit more about what has changed in your lives. Can you explain to us how your day-to-day life has changed after the disappearance of your husband?
ค่ะก็หลังจากที่บิลลี่หายไปก็ชีวิตก็เหมือนกับว่าจากคนหนึ่งไกลไปอีกคนหนึ่งเลยอะค่ะก็ชีวิตก็มีความลำบากต้องทำทุกอย่างที่ทำได้ต้องดูแลลูกอีก5คนกับพ่อแม่อีก2คนเขาก็อายุเป็นผู้สูงอายุพ่อหนูก็อายุ71ส่วนแม่ก็อายุ62ต้องดูแลในครอบครัวต้องทำหน้าที่ทั้งเป็นพ่อของลูกด้วยเป็นแม่ของลูกด้วยจากคนเดินอยู่บ้านต้องดูแลภายในบ้านอยู่แล้วแต่ตอนนี้เหมือนกลายเป็นคนอีกคนหนึ่งจากที่ไม่เคยเข้าเมืองไม่เคยเดินทางแต่ตอนนี้ชีวิตเหมือนเป็นคนที่มีงานเยอะมากเลยค่ะที่บ้านก็ยังมีคนให้เป็นเข้าให้ช่วยเข้าอสม.ให้ไปช่วยดูแลผู้สูงอายุไปทำงานร่วมกับคณะทำงานพัฒนาสังคมชาวเขาจนไม่มีเวลาอยู่บ้านไม่ค่อยมีเวลาอยู่บ้านก็บางทีแม่ก็ต้องกลับมาอยู่ที่บ้านหนูแล้วก็ต้องช่วยดูแลลูกๆให้แล้วก็ถ้าออกมาอย่างนี้แม่บางทีแม่ก็เป็นห่วงเขาก็ไม่อยากให้ออกมาสักเท่าไหร่อะค่ะ
After Billy, my husband, disappeared, I feel like I became another person. In my daily life, I found a lot of difficulty because I have to do myself everything. I have to take care of my children, 5 of them, together with 2 of my parents, which is very old, who are very old. Like my father age, he is 71 years old, and my mother is 62 years old. I have to take care of my own family, being a father and mother of my children. In the past, I have to stay home and take care of everything in my house. But now it's not only that I became another person, which I have to travel a lot. From in the past, I have never get out from my community, travel quite far like this. But now my life changed a lot. I seems like I am a person who have a lot of works, things to do. I have to take care of my family, and I also being now like a volunteer, helping the community of the current network to help to take care of my own community's member. Another thing she added that actually now she has not enough time to stay home to take care of her children as in the past. Sometimes when she has to travel out community to work to do something on the Billy case. She has to ask her own mother to take care of her children at home. And every time that she traveled from the community, her mother quite very concerned about what happened with her during the traveling.
For Somchai Nirapajit, I think that the families of the disappear, I think they face the same things. When one of your family members disappear, I think we have to do many things. For myself, actually I'm a nurse. I'm a very simple woman. I love cooking. I'm driving my 5 children to go to school. I do everything myself, and as I said that Somchai helped his client by he used his own money. So it's my duty to do some small business so that I can survive. I can take care of my 5 children. But when one day, when Somchai disappeared, I asked an ordinary woman, no, I have no background on the law, and after that I have to deal with a lot of people, with the police, with the Ministry of Justice, with a lot of people. So, by the way, I have to take care of my children. You know that last 12 years, we heard a lot of cases of enforced disappearance in Thailand. But not even one case that can go through the court. Most of the victims are very scared and they not want to speak anything. Somchai used to told me that there's a lot of cases of people in the south that were abducted and disappeared. But we cannot do anything. He said we cannot do anything because they have no evidence. So when Somchai disappeared, I have 2 things to do. Firstly, I have to take care of my 5 children because I not want anything to affect on their life. You can imagine that one day when their father disappear and when they go out to studying, they saw in the newspaper, all the newspapers said Somchai the bandit lawyer, and also in the Thai television every channel said that Somchai is the bandit lawyer because he helped the bandit